Hello, everybody. This is Noemi Banchi, and we are broadcasting from Springwood in the Blue Mountains in Australia. Very, very close to Sydney. And we are talking about a trip that I made. I did a trip a few months ago with some friends, among them Rubén Cedeño and Fernando Candiotto. We went to Rome, to Italy, and other cities of Italy. And well, that's why we are now we are sharing some of the things we saw and we learned. I learned in that trip. And one of the things that we saw is art, because when we talk about metaphysics, metaphysics is a teaching, not just spiritual. And Rubén Cedeño doesn't use the word spiritual anymore. And the reason is spiritual people can understand a lot of things. So he uses the word interiority for the connotation of this is about you. When we talk about metaphysics is about thinking positively. So it's how you think, is how you feel, and what you say and what you do. That is the reason that, or that's the cause of the situation you are living right now. So if you have positive thinking, positive feelings, positive words, and you do positive things, then your life will be magnificent, happy, you will enjoy, you will be successful. And on the other hand, if you think negatively, everything expensive, you feel negativity that you cannot do it, you use the words negatively, you can afford something, and then you do something negative, then your life will be miserable and you will suffer. And who are you going to blame? Well, nobody around you but you is the reason why your life is like that. This is why it's so important to understand the words. And well, today we are going to talk about the 7 works of mercy by Caravaggio. And why? Why are we talking about art? Well, and this is why I start saying metaphysics is not just interiority, it's also about art, history, geography. You are going to see some maps today. So it's a comprehensive teaching. Well, let's get started. Well, this is I don't know if you have seen this piece of art before. This is the 7 works of mercy. This is an art piece by Caravaggio. Well, I would like to give you a moment to observe. observe that image, because this is just the PowerPoint. This is very important that you can observe. What do you see? Let's see. There are where am I? Okay, I think I am. I don't know if you can see my. No, probably not. Okay. Okay. No, it's okay. Well, sorry, I'm just checking technical issues. We can see there are two angels on top, and this is representation, first of all, heaven and earth, like suffering and happiness all in one place. Mother Mary with her son on top, because always the mother is the representation of mercy, and the father is the representation of the order. I don't know, at home, let's talk about you at home. So let me see. I can tell about myself. Although I grew up with mom and dad at home, but I should say that my mom was mercy and order at the same time. My dad always agreed with mom, but she was always who put order in house, like, okay, go and clean up, tidy up your bedroom, help me with this, da 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 da. So she was always order. But I know that in some homes, mom is more soft, more gentle. If you soft, I don't know if you can say that. And the dad is who put order in home. So, for example, my mom told me that she was afraid of her dad when she was a kid, because her dad was always serious, and when he came home after working, you couldn't speak in the table, you couldn't do a lot of things. And well, now it's a little bit different from those days. I should say my mom is 80 years old, and well, so we grew up differently. And that's why it says mercy is, when you say mercy, what do you think? Do you think God is merciful? And what about you? Are you merciful? Well, that's what we are talking about today. Well, here is the representation of 7 works of mercy. And a lady who is giving milk from her breast to her dad. This is a story. So Caravaggio painted this based on stories, based on real people. And the story about that painting is that she went to see her father, who was in prison, and he was sentenced to death for starvation. So she had a baby, she was breastfeeding, and so she gave her milk to her dad. So we can say there are 3 words of mercy in one act: feed the hungry, give to drink the thirsty, and visit people in prison. Well, there, and the picture itself, we're going to talk. Let's talk about that. Go on. Let's continue. Because Rubén Cedeño has a lot of things to say. By the way, he wrote he wrote a very tiny book where he explains the 7 works of mercy by Caravaggio, and my person translated some of that information to share with you. So the 7 works of mercy is an oil painting by Caravaggio. The painting is in the Church of Piemonte della Misericordia in Naples, Italy. Originally, it was meant to be 7 separate panels around the church. However, Caravaggio combined all 7 works of mercy in one composition, which became the church altarpiece. And then, well, that's the proof. I went there, and I was there in that place, in that Piemonte della Misericordia in Naples. And for those who drive, if you drive in Naples, you earned your driver license. It's not like Australia. No. There, if you drive, it's very strong. Yes, it's very strong to drive there. So you really earn your driver license there. Believe me. Well, here is an image of where the city of Naples is. You can see is near the sea, and is a few kilometers away from Rome. Wow. And let me share with you, this is let me see if I can go open this, just the PowerPoint. So this is the altar in the Piemonte della Misericordia. We are talking that this is in Naples, in a very tiny street, crowded with a lot of people there. So you go there, you enter that church, and then you see the altarpiece, and then you see different arts around the place. Is this is the entrance. This is where you enter the door. You just pay a ticket before you go there, and then you just and there's all very organized, because there's an entrance door and there's a exit door as well. That's Peter. There are some Italians also there talking. That's the crucifixion, sorry. There. So you can see religion, art, history is all combined in one. And this is the picture. There. This is the altarpiece. The 7 Works of Mercy by Caravaggio. What are the characteristics of this? Let's see. Go back. Okay, no, keep going. Okay, oops, sorry. So Lorenzo Denio says, the 7 Works of Mercy have been immortalized by Michelangelo Merisi da Caravaggio, an Italian painter of realistic Baroque tenebrism. I don't know if you can go back. See the image? It's really dark. You can see the contrast of light and darkness. It's really, that is one of the characteristics of that style, tenebrism. And Caravaggio, well, was Italian. Caravaggio was a quarrelsome, aggressive, offensive, rowdy, a gambler, and a fighter who was taken to trial 11 times. Have you met someone like him? I have to be honest, I haven't met so many. I have met some people, but not many like Caravaggio. Fleeing from Rome as a murderer and fugitive from justice, he arrived in Naples, where he painted this immortal canvas, perhaps the most symbolic and spiritual of his entire career. And this is one of the things that I love the most, because when we talk about interiorism, spirituality, the old term of spirituality, you always think of saints, people like with a light around them, very nice, with their eyes like and in reality, well, we talk about St. Paul, and St. Paul he wasn't a murderer, it's by himself, but he was present when St. Stephen was stoned to death, and then he became who became. With Caravaggio, another example, he was, if we have, society from the lowest level, and he made a beautiful and immortalized the 7 works of mercy. And in the picture, Rubens Cedeño explained that he painted the person who he murdered. He killed the person. So he, in that paint, is the representation of that act as well. I think I miss. And Rubens Cedeño compiled the words of the Honduran poet Ramon Ortega, and he says, "There are traces of virtue in the wicked and traces of weakness in the virtuous." There is not everything black and white. No, there's not. No, this. Let's keep going. Rubens Cedeño explains that the 7 works of mercy were announced by Master Jesus and mentioned in the Gospel of St. Matthew the Evangelist. St. Matthew was one of the evangelists and also one of the apostles, because Matthew he lived with Jesus, he shared with Jesus, in some point he had the radiation of Master Jesus by living with him. And I think I share again the map, yes, because we can see in this map the place where the 7 works of mercy by Caravaggio are in Piemonte della Misericordia in Naples, and is close as 60 kilometers away from Salerno. Salerno is a city of Italy, and there is a church, the Church of Salerno, And in that church, there is the corpus of San Matthew. So let me share. So this is San Matteo. San Matteo is in Italian. That's the cathedral, and you can see on the right hand side the image of the interior of that church. And you enter that place and you only look up. All the paintings and all the paintings with different stories of the Bible, all represented by just an image. Yes, you look all up and you get out of the church like all the way looking up. So, what Jesus said about this, the works of mercy, is that if you are looking for spirituality, don't look upon you. So don't look up. Don't try to so in these words, if you want to love God, first look at who is next to you. The person next to you. There is where you will find God. There are 14 works of mercy. In the painting of by Caravaggio, there are only 7. So the 7 external works of mercy, the most common or the well-known works. Let's see. Heal the sick. And we are going to talk about this year. Pope Francis, he validated as saint the doctor Jose Gregorio Hernandez. He was a Venezuelan doctor. And this year, in 2025, the year of the green ray, Dr. Jose Gregorio Hernandez is, I don't know if it's the correct word in English, but is nominated to be saint. Heal the sick. Another person near in Italy, another doctor is Giuseppe Moscardi. Giuseppe Moscardi also spent all his life healing the sick. And Jesus did. He showed what you can do. So in metaphysics, we learn to heal the sick. How? Very easy. In metaphysics, everything is easy. Wear green. Here. This is green. I have also here. I don't know if you can see. Wear something green. Green is the color of life, of health. Talk. We are using the four the quadrant of causation. The four elements. Think. You. Let's talk about you and then heal the others. But it's the same. Think you are healthy. You are health. Feel you are health. Say it aloud. You are health. Take your medication or do what the doctor prescribes. Action. 4 things. And remember what Jesus said to his disciples? Greater things that I do, you can do. Feed the hungry. If someone is hungry, let's go. Have dinner, have lunch, have a coffee. Well, coffee will be the next one. Give drink to the thirsty. Someone is thirsty, give them a drink. We travel, and during that trip, we were a lot of people. And what we did, Ruben Cedeño, so the organization was magnificent. We were a group when we went to Rome and Naples and Salerno. We went to Salerno as well. What we did was organized by Ruben and Fernando. So they organized the trip in a way very logical, efficient, very well organized, timing, everything was perfect. We had the activity 9 a.m. in the hotel. Ruben explained what we were going to see, and then when we went to the place, we could see, we took pictures. And when Ruben finished his activity, in metaphysics we use the word activity instead of class, because class is old-fashioned. A class is when someone speaks and the rest just listens. The rest of the people listen. In an activity, there is conversation, there is a feedback. So someone speaks, the others listen, and they can speak as well, and the person listens. It's like a feedback. Anyway, after that activity, all the group went to say thank you to Ruben, and some people gave him clothes, and this is the next one. Shelter the travel. Shelter the travel is when you receive someone, you give invite someone to stay in your home. Clothe the naked. So some people gave Ruben clothes to wear. Some people gave him food for the trip, some snacks, almond. He likes almond. No sugar, no chocolate. Some drinks, some water, Coke, sugar-free, and that's the way we practice these things. Ransom the captive. Some people go to hospitals to visit them. People in hospital, they are suffering. They are captive, not physically, but they are captive because of the illness. The same with the prisons. They go to the prison to spread this teaching and assist the disembodied. Assist the disembodied. In metaphysics, we learn, and this is not new, is agent, that death doesn't exist. We don't die, we don't pass away, we just transform. Like ice into water, water into clouds, we transform. When someone disembodied, means that the person didn't die, they just don't have a body. We know that death doesn't exist, only life. So assisting the disembodied is when, well, someone, we say a decree for someone who disembodied, to help them to realize of all the process. And in that church, you can see also this sculpture, which is tiny in comparison to the art, the canvas, but is exactly representation of that 7 works of mercy. And is good to touch. So if someone cannot see, they can touch. I am a physiotherapist. I like to use my hands, so when I touch it, and I touch it, that to feel it, the texture. Well, the 7 internal works of mercy. We talk about the external. Now we are going to talk about the internal. Teach the ignorant. This is what we do. I'm watching a series called The Chosen. And it really is great. I really learned from that, because it reminds me when we travel with Ruben, all the group together, we share with him, and sometimes he gets annoyed with us because he says, "Oh, when are you going to learn? How many times I have to tell you the same thing?" And he insists, teach the ignorant. And he told us in our faces, "You are ignorant." And do you think we are offended? No, we are not. Because he makes us realize that if you're ignorant, okay, wake up, learn, get out of that ignorance and learn once and for all. So teaching the ignorant. And in that series, The Chosen, it's exactly the same. Jesus says, "How many times I told you, and you still don't get it." And because this is internal, and the disciples will. I just share with you one of the things that happened in that one of the episodes. John came and asked. John and James were brothers, and they went to ask Jesus if they can have a seat on the left and the right hand side of him in the kingdom. And Jesus looked at like this, saying, "You still don't get it. You are asking me for that. You know," and he knew what's going to happen, that he was going to go through all the process of crucifixion. And said, "Do you really want to be next and right to the chosen, well, the Christ, the Son of God?" He said, "The Son of God is going to suffer. Do you really want to be there?" So teach the ignorance. Advise the misguided. If someone is talking something negative, I say, if you speak like that, it's going to happen. And sometimes they say, "No, yes, it is, because you are saying that you have power in your words." Correct the mistaken. If someone is doing something wrong or saying something wrong, we need to speak up. It's the time. Forgive the offender. Forgiveness. Mercy is one of the qualities of the 7 ray. Forgiveness as well. You know that forgiveness is something like you can give. You can give forgiveness. You cannot receive forgiveness. You give forgiveness. So when someone offends you, you are giving power to that person. Your boss, your partner, your kids, your grandparents, your neighbor, your etc., etc., etc. You are giving power to the words they are saying. If I'm starting now speaking in Spanish, you may not understand. If I'm saying an insult, for you it's not going to be an insult because you don't understand. You don't give power. But if I say something in English, you will understand, and you will say, what are you saying that to me? Well, forgive the offender is focus on yourself, and to the words or the action of others, you just say, you have no power. You have no power. Think of Caravaggio, a murderer, and he made this art piece, yes. Masterpiece of the 7 works of mercy. Forgiveness. How easy. Remember, in metaphysics, everything is easy. I forgive you. And just say that, I forgive you. Console the afflicted. If someone is suffering, console them. I remember always Rubén Cedeño giving this example of when Connie Mendez, Connie was Rubén's friend, and she knew about metaphysics. So Rubén learned metaphysics from her, and people went to see her for different problems, suffering. And you know what she did with them? Let's say a person went to see Connie and said, Connie, I'm very frustrated with my boss. He doesn't listen to me. He annoys me, blah, blah, what, etc., whatever. And you know what she said? Oh, look at those shoes. Those shoes are beautiful. Oh, look at that ring you have in your hand is beautiful. And then she was transforming, consoling the afflicted and changing. So, and she said, let's thank God for those shoes. And I love the stories that Rubén shares with us, but he shares with a purpose. Okay, so what I'm doing? Am I doing the same? Transmute the faults of others. That's why when we learn about the violet fire, we can transmutation is about changing something negative into positive. And pray for the living and the disembodied. We already talked about the disembodied, people who are not on earth with physical body, and the living, everyone else. We, you and me and everyone else. Pray. And praying, the other day, a friend of mine is a priest, and he is a very good friend, an accountant. So he asked me the other day, tell me, Noemi, how do you pray? And I told him, you know what? I learned in metaphysics to pray as a decree. Because we don't pray saying, oh God, I will really want a house, but I know I don't deserve it. Or I know the market is so expensive right now, but I really want a house. No, I don't do that. We don't do that in metaphysics. What we do is the scientific prayer. Someone who wants to change their job because they don't like the job, I don't like that job anymore, for whatever reason, and you know what you want, that's the first thing is, now I ask you, what do you want? Can be a job, a pair of shoes, a travel, a car, a new phone, anything. Well, and let me tell you, Ruben told us that he helped with this exactly the same scientific prayer to get someone, because they need it, for 40 million. So anything, whatever you need to think first. So it has to be in your conscious first, and then we say this scientific prayer. Scientific, because we can test if this is effective, its effectiveness. Prayer, well, there are a few, it's a sentence with a few clauses. The first one is, in the name of I am presence. We are going to talk, just to explain a little bit what we are saying, and then you just can repeat this to do what, to get what you want. First, God. And what is the name of God? Well, Moses said that the name of God is, and Moses asked God, what is your name? I am that I am. So first, God. In the name of I am presence. In harmony with everybody. Whatever you need is going to be in harmony for everybody. You are not going to harm. If you want a partner, if you want a car, if you want to change your job, whatever reason, whatever you need is not going to harm anybody else. Under grace. You know what Connie used to say? And this is I learned from Ruben. Whatever you want, you don't have to even move this finger to get it. That is under grace. That you're not going to, I need to pay the mortgage. I need to work for 14, for 100 years to get my mortgage. No, under grace. You're not going to move even one finger to get it in a perfect way. You must say all of this. Just to give you an example that is in my mind right now, someone didn't do the scientific prayer. They wanted money, and you know what happened? Someone had an accident, and from the insurance they got the money. So you don't want that, do you? Say in a perfect way. If it's money, it's going to come in a perfect way. If it's by law. So whatever you are, of course, this is for something good. You're not going to try to kill someone, because the first disembodied will be you. So no. If it is by law, something good, I decree, and then you say, and what you say must be specific, with all the details. Think when you go shopping. Men, sometimes they don't want to confess, but sometimes they also like shopping. Women, we love shopping. And then what happened? Well, you go shopping and you want the pair of shoes. You know exactly what you want. The color, the type of shoe, the brand you want. That's the size, of course. Everything in detail, as much detail as possible. Someone the other day wanted a new job. I said, think of how many days you want to work, in which place, how much money you want to earn, all the details, which days you want to work, everything, as much as possible. Because the more details you give, the more you are conscious of that. And then the last part is, thank you, Father, it's done. Always, when we thank God, Father, it means that's the demonstration of faith, that we know that it's already done. It's already done. So, thank you, Father, it's done. Okay, so now we are going to do it all in one go. Okay. What do you want to do? So we are going to do this for the expansion of metaphysics. So we are going to, if you want to repeat with me, we are going to say, so we do all the steps, and then the decree is, I decree the expansion of metaphysics in this place. We are going to name Springwood. Okay, ready? In the name of I Am Presence, in harmony with everybody, under grace, in a perfect way, if it's by law, I decree the expansion of metaphysics in this place, Springwood, Australia. Thank you, Father, it's done. Thank you, that's all. Well, now, what we are going to do after the activity is the prosperity practice. What is about? Well, there is a law of cause and effect. What you give, you receive. Do you want to be prosperous? Yes? Well, in that case, when you give, you receive multiply. So what we are going to do now is take the money that you are going to offer, and this is for the expansion of this teaching, for the metaphysics teaching. We are going to take the money, or think some people share from the bank account. There is an account share in the details below in this video. Well, we are going to bless, because what you bless, you multiply. We are going to say all together, in the name of the I Am Presence, I bless this donation, that it may be multiplied for the expansion of the meta teaching worldwide. Thank you, Father. All right. Well, thank you very much. See you next time.